25th of July 2025, Shaolin Temple's Abbot Shi Yong Xin was suddenly summoned for questioning in the middle of the night. 2 days later, on the 27th of July, Shaolin Temple made an official announcement that Shi Yong Xin was under investigation for various criminal offences, including the embezzlement of temple funds. He had also allegedly broken his monastic vows, having many female partners and fathering illegitimate children. Following that, the Buddhist Association of China revoked his ordination certificate. Shi Yong Xin was born Liu Yingcheng in Yingshan County, Anhui Province in 1965. He entered Buddhist monastic life at the age of 16 in 1981. His timing couldn't have been better. In 1982, Hong Kong movie Shaolin became a blockbuster. Shaolin Kung Fu fascinated millions of Chinese and non-Chinese people worldwide. There was also an uproar from the Buddhist community over scenes of monks feasting on meat in the movie. If only they knew what's going to happen in the real Shaolin Temple. Nevertheless, massive crowds soon formed at the gates of Shaolin Temple at Henan. Back then, entrance fees to the temple were collected by the authorities. Hoping to increase temple coffers, Abbot Shi Yong travelled to Beijing with his disciples to appeal for the temple to take over the management of funds. Shi Yong Xin was one of his disciples accompanying the abbot. The young monk's political astuteness would soon be realized. After following studies at various Buddhist colleges, or so it seemed, Shi Yong Xin was designated as Abbot of Shaolin Temple in 1999. He was only 34. Of course, apart from being the chairman of the Henan Province Buddhist Association, vice chairman of the Buddhist Association of China, Shi Yong Xin was also a delegate in the 9th through 12th sessions of the National People's Congress. He was also a politician. In the early 2000s, The Economist magazine ran an article on the young abbot commercializing Shaolin Temple and managing it like a business, earning him the nickname of CEO Monk. In 2001, the enterprising Shi Yong Xin faced criticism for approving the demolition of a surrounding residential area to support the temple's bid for UNESCO World Heritage status. Now, this being China, nothing stands in the way of progress and wealth creation. The Shaolin Temple attracts an estimated 3 to 5 million visitors annually, generating over 300 million RMB each year from entrance fees and incense offerings alone. As of 2023, Shi Yong Xin controls 18 companies. The temple has registered more than 700 trademarks across categories such as food, lodging, and even jewelry. Shaolin cultural centers operate in over 50 countries and regions worldwide, with a global following of more than 3 million international disciples. The total annual earnings of Shaolin Temple is estimated to be between 1.2 to 1.4 billion USD. Kong Hee and Ming Yi are small fries in comparison. Now, after Abbot Shi Yong passed away, he was succeeded by Abbot De Chan. Now, before Abbot Shi Yong passed away, he wrote a letter to the authorities accusing Shi Yong Xin of stealing money from his room when he had gone for medical treatment. No action was taken until Abbot De Chan decided to dismiss Shi Yong Xin in 1988. He disrobed but reappeared at the temple after intervention by government officials. From the 1990s, Shi Yong Xin became the government officials' go-to guy at Shaolin. He led delegations of fighting monks overseas to perform, promoting Chinese martial arts and culture, enriching the temple beyond imagination. He was extremely generous with gifts like luxury cars for officials in all related branches and departments in government. In 1995, Shi Yong Xin presided over the extravagant 1,500th anniversary celebration of Shaolin Temple. Actually, the other monks were not in favor of holding such an extravagant party. Shi Yong Xin approached then Secretary of Provincial Party Committee Li Changchun. Mr. Li loved the idea as it would further raise the profile and revenue-generating potential of the temple. Shi Yong Xin's poise and leadership would assure him as the next abbot in the eyes of government officials, even though many of the monks objected due to his lack of integrity. His reputation was not confined within the temple. As early as 2011, a rumor alleging that Shi Yong Xin had been arrested for soliciting prostitution went viral on Chinese social media. The temple threatened litigation. In 2015, an anonymous online posting gave details of how Shi Yong Xin had stolen funds from the temple and committed sexual offences against nuns and lay followers. The poster also alleged that he had 2 different sets of identification papers. Even the names of his illegitimate children were mentioned. Following that, a woman went on social media to confess that she had met up with him in a hotel room and had his DNA on her clothes to show for it. Another Monica Lewinsky. Monks at Shaolin even testified that the allegations were true, but attempts to get him ousted failed when the Henan Religious Affairs Bureau concluded in November 2015 that the accusations were unfounded. Li Changchun, who would later be promoted to the Politburo's Standing Committee, 政治局常委, the most powerful leadership committee in China, described Shi Yong Xin as an enlightened and forward-looking religious leader. Provincial secretaries who succeeded Mr. Li also had a good relationship with Shi Yong Xin. Unfortunately for Shi Yong Xin, however, he was a brilliant businessman, but he could not credibly take on the role of a monk, well-versed in Buddhist teachings, in front of TV cameras. That would be his Achilles heel.
他们说你外边有很多钱，哪里有别墅啊，甚至更离谱的说您还有老婆孩子这些，当然我们都不知道。但是您愿不愿意借这个平台来就这一系列的传闻来做一个回应呢？
要有问题早都成问题了。
就您觉得这都是谣言？
我说了，有问题早都成问题了，这个不用再细说了。
What did he mean by that? If there's a problem, it would have been a problem long ago. The authorities had long been aware of what he had been doing. So why now? Fast forward to July 2025. The same allegations were made. This time, the outcome was different. Why? There is probably more than one reason. Reason number 1. In 2025, Henan province had a new secretary. His name, Liu Ning, a former chief engineer in numerous infrastructural projects. Nothing in common with a boorish monk. His old friend, Li Changchun, had long retired. Reason number 2. The great leader, in a message in 2022, pushed the concept of 宗教中国化, religious signification. It's deliberately vague to cover a wide range of perceived offences. But a person like Shi Yong Xin probably thought that it only meant that Xinjiang Muslims should not aspire to be like Muslims elsewhere. There should soon be a government-approved Bible, government-approved Quran. In February this year, Shi Yong Xin went on a tour organized by the Europe Asian Center. On that trip, he visited the Vatican and met up with the late Pope Francis. It was meant to be low-key, a very low-key visit, but in the age of social media, pictures and videos of the meeting quickly went viral. The patriots questioned the appropriateness of the meeting, given the new slogan to signify religion within the country. Now, the Foreign Ministry and the United Working Front both denied that they knew anything about it. The authorities immediately went into panic mode to draft a list of guidelines for religious organizations meeting up with their foreign counterparts in April 2025. Now, by then, Shi Yong Xin must have known that trouble was creeping up on him. In late June, the National Religious Affairs Administration announced that it would take firm action against violators of the new guidelines for religious signification. Shi Yong Xin was taken away on the 25th of July. He could not be faulted for violating the guidelines because they came after his visit to the Vatican, so they nailed him on breaking the monastic vows. On the 29th of July, Luoyang Baima Temple's Abbot Shi Yong took over as the new abbot of Shaolin Temple. Shi Yong Xin may be the first, but he won't be the last. Temples in China are not independent institutions regulated only by religious bodies. They often work together with businesses and politicians to generate bonuses for all parties involved.
我做錯咗嘢，我做錯咗全世界好多男人都做錯咗嘅嘢。